Good morning friends. Today I am going to take this session on the plant diversity of India. Guys, we are seeing the biodiversity sessions. So in the biodiversity sessions we are done with the Indian biodiversity guys. Okay, Indian biodiversity chapter we have done with that. That is this biogeographical classification. Okay, the flora, fauna, wildlife in India. And before this we have seen what biodiversity is, its importance of biodiversity, the levels of biodiversity, the measurement of biodiversity, IUCN Red Data book. All those features we have seen in the first chapter, that is biodiversity guys. So after that we have seen the Indian biodiversity, and after Indian biodiversity we have seen the fauna. Okay guys, we have seen the fauna, that is the animal diversity in India. Animal diversity in India. Okay, and after the topic we have seen the animals, scheduled animals listed in the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. So what are the offences that we are having and its penalties in this we have seen, and which are the animals that will comes under the schedule 1, schedule 2, schedule 4, schedule 5, all those things. Those topics we have done till now. So in this session I am going to take this on the plant diversity of India. So the topic for today's discussion is plant diversity of India. Plant diversity of India. Okay guys, so in the previous class we have seen the animal diversity of India. So in the animal diversity of India we have seen the marine animals. Okay, so the marine herbivorous animals and the man animal conflict, all those topics we have covered in the previous topic, that is animal diversity of India. Now in this topic we are going to see plant diversity of India. So what are the topics that we are going to discuss in this topic? Guys, what exactly plant diversity? Okay, plant diversity means presence of plants, means the diversity of plant. Different variety of plants is called as plant diversity. We have animal diversity, different variety of animals. Now in this aspect we are going to how the plant diversity has its importance in the ecosystem. So if we see what are the topics we are going to see, we are first of all classification of the plant. So the topics that we are going to see guys, that is classification of plant. Classification of plant. So how the plant have been classified? The plant have been classified into many types. Like, so depending upon its upcoming guys, we have small shrub, herb, okay, tree, parasites, climbers, epiphytes, all those things that we are going to see. Classification of the plant. After the classification of the plant, we have insectivorous plants. We have insectivorous. Insectivorous plants. Okay guys, so after the insectivorous plants we have invasive alien species. Invasive alien species. So what are insectivorous plants? Insectivorous plants are the one which will trap the insects. Okay, so after this we have invasive alien species. Okay guys, so after the invasive alien species we are going to see the importance of the medicinal plants. Okay, so what are the medicinal plants that we are having? Okay guys, so we have the classification of plants, insectivorous plants, invasive alien species, the medicine plants. Okay, so these topics that we are going to discuss in our chapters guys. Okay, so I start my discussion with the plant classification of plants. Guys, the one more topic that we can see, that is characteristics of trees. Characteristics of trees. Okay, if you see guys, all things are related with respect to plant diversity. That is plants, invasive plants, insectivorous plants, invasive plants, the medicinal plants, and the characteristics of the tree guys. Okay, these are the topics that we need to discuss, as these are the basic topics. These are the basic topics which are going to helpful in our preparation guys. Okay, they may ask the question on any insectivorous plants, on any invasive alien species, and the medicinal plant. Why? Because they will ask. So they will give this name of the species. Okay, they will find out. So this plant is useful for the treatment of the cholera, or the drips, or the eye drops. Okay, guys, or for the skin dyeing. Like that, we have many medicinal plants, and they may ask the questions like where this type of plant is located. So we need to see the current affairs of this topic, guys. So here I am going to discuss the basics of this discussion, but these basics they are not going to ask in our examination. In examination, they are going to see the current affairs topics. Current affairs. So whatever these plants that we come across in our preparation, then we need to take. So where is its location? Where is its location? So after this, its importance of the plant. Importance of the plant, such that we can go for the examination easily. We can answer the questions easily, guys. Okay, same as the medicinal plant, invasive alien species, or insectivorous plants. Okay, like that. Like for example, we have the issues with the locust must. Okay, so it is requested. So it is the recently in the current affairs, locust must. Okay, so you should know regarding everything about locust must. So from where it has been coming to India. So what are the consequences if they have in India? Okay, we have the monsoon climate that is going to affect it, the agriculture is going to affect it, all those things we need to discuss, guys. In such a manner, every aspect should be taken like that. Okay, so today we start discussion the basics of this chapter, guys. That is plant diversity of India. So I take my first topic, that is classification of the plant. Classification of plant. So in the classification of the plant, first of all, we take a herb. Okay, guys, what is a herb? Herb is the small green plant, guys. It is a green plant. That is, its stem is green. Its stem is green in color and having a height less than 1 meter, guys. Less than 1 meter. Okay, what do you mean by herb? You should know. So when to use which terminology? So when to use a herb, when to use the shrub, when to use the tree. You should know, guys. Herb is the small stem, that is small green plant. Small green plant, that is the stem is green in color and having its length less than 1 meter. So its height. A height is less than 1 meter, guys. It is about the herb. After that we have shrub. Okay, shrub. Shrub is the perennial woody plant. Shrub is the perennial woody plant. Okay, so they have the distinguished organisms, like they have the distinguished features like stem, roots, leaves, and all things, and its height is less than 6 meters. Less than 6 meters is the height of this shrub. Okay, guys. So where are the so when we can use the word herb, when we can use the word shrub, you should know, guys. It is a perennial woody plant. Means the plant is having the wood in structure. Woody structure, guys. Okay, woody plant. Perennial woody plant less than 6 meters in height. Okay. Okay, guys. And we have the tree. So when we can solve it as tree. A tree is a large perennial woody plant. It is a large perennial woody plant. Woody plant having a single tree and having a crown. Having a single stem which has crown structure. Which has crown structure, guys. This is about the tree. Tree is a large perennial woody plant having a single stem which has crown structure. What do you mean the cone structure, guys? So if you see the tree, they are having roots, all these things. It is the cone structure. It is the cone structure they are having there, and single woody plant. Single woody plant having the trees. So when for this structure only we go for saying the word it is tree, guys. So for small structures like this, we call this for woody plants. Okay, shrubs. This shrubs, or if you have small herb like that. Okay, guys, this is tree. Okay, a herb, shrub. Okay, we should know difference between all these things. Okay, done. I think I have clearly explained what is herb, what is shrub, what is tree. Okay, so let us move to the next discussions, the next topics. So the next topics we are having the parasites. Okay, what do you mean by parasites? Okay, so parasites are the organisms which depend on the other organisms for the nutrients. Okay, what do you mean by parasites? Parasites. Okay, parasites are organisms which wholly or partly depend on other organisms for nutrition. Guys, generally plants get nutrition from where? Plants get the nutrition from soil. Okay, so if we have the plant, this plant get the nutrition from the soil. We have nutrition to the soil. But parasites are the organisms which wholly or partly depend upon the other organisms for nutrients. Means they don't depend upon the soil. Don't depend on soil for nutrition. Okay, generally in soil we are having the vitamins and minerals. Those will be taken by the plants. But this won't depend upon the soil for the nutrition. They depend upon the other organisms. The other organisms, how we call it, that is the host. Host means the one who plays a very important role. Like for example, in the games there will be having the host. Host means one is going to organize the event. We call as the host, guys. Is the host means these organisms plays a very important role. These are giving the food to the parasites. Very very important topic, guys. This we have discussed in the relationship of the organisms. We have the parasites and we have the predation. Okay, parasites and the predation. This is about the parasites. And the one more, that is we have epiphytes. Okay, so epiphytes are the species which are depend upon the other plant. These are the depend on other tree or plant. Okay, but it does not take the nutrition of the host plant. But does not take nutrition of host plant. Okay, guys. So these epiphytes are depend on other tree but does not take the nutrition of the host tree. Okay, guys. So guys, done. So generally if you are having the tree in such a manner, okay, the epiphytes will come at somewhere. Epiphytes. Okay, but these epiphytes are not taking the nutrition of this plant. They are not disturbing the nutrition of this main plant, but they depend here for sunlight. For only sunlight, guys. So for only sunlight purposes, they depend upon this plant, and they will get the air from the sun. They will get the moisture from the atmosphere. Okay, but whereas in the parasites they are depending for the nutrition, whereas in the epiphytes they are not depend for the nutrition, guys. They depend upon this plant only for the sunlight, because if these are present over here, they are not unable to get the sunlight. That's why they are presenting over here and getting the required sunlight. Okay, and so for the moisture they depend upon the air, guys. This is about the epiphytes. Okay, guys. So we have discussed parasites and epiphytes, and the last topic is the climbers, guys. Okay, we have the climbers that I will discuss here. So what do you mean by climbers? So guys, climbers are herbivores. So these are the herbivores. So these are the herbivores or the plants which depend upon the tree for the supportive purpose. So guys, if we are having the large tree, so these are like climbers, guys. Okay, so they depend upon this tree for support or for the other events. That's why it is called as the climbers. These are the herbivorous. These are the herbivorous plants that depends upon the tree or any supportive system for their stability. Okay, they are called as climbers. So in classification of plant, we have discussed what is a herb, what is shrub, what is tree, what is parasites, epiphytes, and climbers. Guys, then they will go for the MCQs. So consider the statement, that is they will give as like A, B. They will give definition here and they will give that terms over here. Herb, shrub, tree, all those things. We need to do the match the following. I think guys clearly I have explained about this topic. Okay, that is classification of the plants. So we have done with the first part of our discussion. That is classification of plants. After that, I am taking the second part of today's discussion, guys. So the second part is insectivorous plants. Okay, so so second one is the insectivorous plants. Insectivorous plants. What do you mean by insectivorous plants? So insects, so plants which are capable of trapping the insects. Okay, that is plants that is capable of trapping insects. Okay, trapping insects is called as the insectivorous plants. So they can trap the insects, guys. Okay, they can trap the insects. Generally, the insects falls on the plants. Okay, but these plants are the ability of trapping the insects. Is called as insectivorous plants. So depending upon the mode of nutrition, they can be classified as two types. That is the active and the passive. They have active and the passive plants. So active plants are the one which will close the leaves after as the trapping mechanism. So whenever they fall on the leaf, okay, guys, so whenever it's fall on the leaf, simply they will close it. Okay, they will close the leaf, then they will trap it. They are called as active. And the passive means they have suppress mechanism, that is pitfall mechanism. They are having the pitfall mechanism, like they have the jar-like structure. They are having the jar-like structure such that they will trap in such a manner, guys. They are having the pitfall mechanism. Pitfall mechanism is called as the pitcher jar. It's called as a pitcher or jar-like structure. Jar-like structure they are having, and the insect will fall in that jar and they will close it. So it is called as passive. Active and the passive, these are trapping of the insects. So we need to discuss why. So plants get insects. So plants get energy from the soil. That is through the soil they get minerals. From the sunlight they will go for the chlorophyll and the photosynthesis. But what is the need to have this type of mechanism? So generally what these insects do, guys, these are the for nutrition, guys. Okay, the plants capable of trapping insects. The insects they are doing this activity for nutrition. Okay, so what is the need to do for this type of nutrition mechanism? Even though they will get the plants that is of the tree, they will get from the soil and they will get from the sunlight. Because, guys, few plants, that is these insective plants, will have their life on the marshy lands, guys. They have their habitat at the marshy areas. Okay, and after the marshy area, they are having the places of the wet or acidic area. Acidic places. So at this place they are not having the required amount of sunlight and all those things. That is we have the wet acidification and the marshy areas. So they can't get the required amount of nutrients from the soil. That's why they go for this type of mechanisms, guys. That's why they go for this type of mechanisms for the nutrition. Okay, now we will see what are the effects of this mechanism. Okay, so we have some few effects, like what we can say that threats we can say. So threats of this habitat. So if you see the threats of this habitat, as simply we people know guys, threat, that is biodiversity loss. Okay, so due to urbanization, they are making the swamp area, they are making the swamp areas, and all those things are making that clear. Urbanization, industrialization. Okay, habitat loss. So they are losing this habitat, guys. So these are the few threats to this marshy areas. Okay, these are having this type of threats to the marshy areas, guys. Okay, now like for example we have the pollution issue, guys. Pollution issue. Okay, guys. So these are the threats of this land. Now we will see few examples of this type of insectivorous plants. Like we have drossens. Drossens, or this we call as sundew. Okay, drossens are the sundew. So these are the plants which are very useful for the curdling of the milk, and also in the silk dyes. Guys. Okay, these are having very useful in the curdling of the milk and the silk dyes. Drossens are the sundew. Okay, so after this we have, that is the second example, alrodon. Alrovande. So this alrovande is also very important, guys. This alrovande also very important, and this is also very useful in the medicinal purposes. Okay, these are also very useful in the medicinal purposes for our things. And the last I will discuss is the nepenthes. Okay, so this nepenthes is also we call as that is like a pitcher plant, guys. We call this as we call this in the family of the pitcher plant. Okay, pitcher plant. So what do you mean by pitcher plant? I said that which are having the jar-like structure. If you see its usefulness, this useful also are in many cases. This is useful in the cholera. Okay, in the disease of cholera, this has been useful. Okay, and after that they use for the eye drops, eye or ear drops, they have using, guys. Okay, and the stomach disorders, guys. So we have like medicinal plants, I said. So these are the usefulness, guys. And not only this, we have many type of medicine plants. Like in recently we have found one medicinal plant in the Arunachal Pradesh. So they have many importance, guys. Like that, we have this many importance of the medicinal plants and its importance. So we should see the current affairs topics. Then only we can answer these topics, guys. Medicinal plants. Okay. So guys, I am closing this session. I am closing this topic, that is insectivorous plants. Okay. So because of its habitat conditions, they are going for this type of mechanism, guys. So after this, I will take my discussion to the invasive alien species. Invasive alien species. Okay, very important topic. Invasive alien species. What do you mean by alien species? What do you mean by alien? Who is an alien? Guys, alien is the one who is outside. Simply outside. Okay. So what happens, accidentally or knowingly? So accidentally or knowingly, some species of not of native, they bring into the new area. And go for having this population breeding, guys. Okay, like accidentally or knowingly. It may be accidentally or the knowingly. Some species which are of the not native, means they not belongs to this area. They not belongs to this area, but they bring from somewhere and they will make this species to be located over this area. Okay, to maintain the biodiversity. Okay guys, because the predators present at this area will be not having the prey guys, will not having the prey, then how they get the prey in this area? So this the plants present in this area, that's why they accidentally or they knowingly bring some species from outside and they breed it in this area. Okay, such that they are useful for as a prey for the present existing predators to maintain the biodiversity. To maintain the biodiversity is called as alien species, outside the species. Now I said invasive alien species. What do you mean by invasive? So until and unless these are not affecting, these are making their lives very better over here, it is fine. But if the alien species are affecting our native organisms, then it is called as an invasive. It is called as invasive, means they are invading our native organisms. They are invading our native organisms. So not only they are invading our native organisms, they will affect the entire biodiversity, or we can say entire ecosystem. They will disturb the entire ecosystem guys. This is called as invasive alien species. Okay, invasive alien species. Okay guys, clear? This we have in our discussion. So invasive alien species are the one which are going to affect our system guys, means our ecosystem they are going to affect. Now we will see what are the effects of the invasive alien species and its food chain guys. So if we change the food chain, this that is food chain. Food chain. So in the food chain guys, if they brings to our native area, what happens? The total number of species will be increased. So of the species will be increased, but they are not in a mutual coordination. So whatever the species that have brought from somewhere and the species present over our native area, they are not having the coordination, and finally leads to the death of our native organisms. Then again leads to decrease in the species. Not only decrease in the species, it will affect the ecosystem. Affect the ecosystem guys. Affect the ecosystem. This is the relation that we are having guys. Okay, so now we will see what are the causes, what are the causes for its habitat loss. Okay, so causes for habitat loss we will see. Causes for habitat loss. So if you see the causes for habitat loss, we are having many causes guys. Okay, that is the first and foremost is these species are affecting our species, like that is alien species affecting. Okay, the habitat loss means the place where that are present, and the biodiversity loss. Okay, the habitat loss, the biodiversity loss, and we can say that alien species they means they are going to reduce the diversity, reduce the biodiversity, loss of species. So these are the few causes of habitat loss guys. Okay, these are the few that is affecting the invasive alien species. Okay, now if you see what are the examples of the invasive alien species. If you see examples that is in the both flora and fauna. Okay guys, so in the fauna we are having the goldfish. Okay, goldfish, and we have snail, African snail. Okay, the goldfish and the African snail. Exactly. So we have many examples guys. The few among them, that is fauna. And in the flora we have needle bush. Okay, needle bush. So this is the habitat of the tropical regions. That is, this we have in the America, guys. This we have in the America. That is needle bush. This we are present having. And after that we have the water hemp. Okay, water hemp. So this is called as aggressor, guys. This is called as aggressor. Okay, so what do you mean by aggressor? Aggressor means this will make that area dominate. This will make that area dominate, guys. Okay, this is an aggression species. So these are the two examples that we can take, that is the needle bush and the water hemp. That is fauna and the flora of the invasive alien species, guys. Okay, guys. So this will affect the entire systems. The pollution is also one of the reasons for this habitat loss. Pollution. Okay, guys, done with these things. So let us move our topic, that is last topic, guys, that is characteristics of the plants. Guys, the characteristics of the plant, if you see, so plants, characteristics of the tree soil. So trees simply they have classified on many types based on the many species, guys. So if you see the classification of the trees will be classified into two types, guys. Okay, trees. Trees characteristics. Okay, trees classified into evergreen, deciduous. So deciduous are the trees which they shed their leaves at a part of the year, is called a deciduous. Evergreen is the one which is having the rainfall and the temperature all every time, guys. They are green leaves. So in trees we have, what are the things that we need to consider in trees? We have the roots, guys. Okay, after roots we have stem, crown. Okay, roots, stem, crown, leaves, branches, or you can say that after canopy. So these are the properties, characteristics we need to discuss, guys. Roots. So if you see roots, we have different levels of roots. So roots play a very important role during the flooding and many things, guys. Roots play very important. We have the pop roots. Okay, we have the pop roots and the roots which are present inside the soil, and some roots like we have Sundarbans. We have like the pop-like structure, that is the trees have came out. Okay, guys, the trees are came out, and like this we have many type of roots. And stem, stem, guys, we have the long stem. We have long stem, guys. We have long, and that is this woody plant. Woody plant we are having the single stem. And the crown, guys, so crown is simple nothing but like this. The different structures of crowns we are having. And the leaves, so leaves play very important, guys, because during photosynthesis they get this sunlight, and the leaves will be having the chlorophyll which are very helpful for the food making, guys. There is sunlight and the energies and some part of minerals they will get from the soil, and this stem will pass the energy. We have the phloem and the xylem. Phloem, guys, the food, and the xylem is water, guys. So they will pass all those things. And the branches, guys, we have different type of branches, that is dendritic branch, circular, all those things. Centric, different branches we are having. These are the about characteristics of the trees, guys. I forgot to explain one more type, that is the abiotic components. Abiotic components on the plants. Abiotic components on plants. Effect of. Okay, what are the effect of abiotic components on the plants? It's very important topic in this discussion, guys. So what are the abiotic components that we are having? Abiotic components are the one which are not having the life. Which are not having the life are called as abiotic components. See, abiotic components. So abiotic components on plants. If you see, we have many abiotic components, guys. Like we have, that is intensity of sunlight. Intensity of sunlight. We have intensity of sunlight. We have temperature. Okay, we have temperature, rainfall, snow, frost. Okay, so these are the ones we have wind, many days. So these are the one which are having its effect. Guys, if you take intensity of sunlight, so guys, which are having the good intensity of sunlight, they have got good photosynthesis process. Those are good in, like, if we have good intensity of sunlight, then the plant will get more sunlight and have the good process of everything, guys. Okay, like they have good structure of the stem, leaves, and the crown, all those things. Whereas with the intensity is less, they'll be having the defective parts. Okay, intensity of sunlight plays very important role. See, that's why epiphytes will take the help of the trees for having sunlight. So what happens if we have the larger tree and the small trees and the small, like a small, are present over here? Okay, then how they are going to get sunlight? So to have the photosynthesis, we should have sunlight. So they can't make the food with the help of photosynthesis because they are not getting sunlight. Okay, we have like some cone-like structure. That's why it plays a very important role. And the temperature also, guys. So the temperature we should be have the optimum temperature that we have. Like we have the snow areas, we have the less temperature we have. So only these species which are habituated to the snow, they only grow over that place. Or the frost. So frost also very plays important role. Okay, in the agriculture activities and all those things. So if the frost present on the leaves, it is going to affect in agriculture case in some fields. Okay, so the frost, the snow, and the temperature plays very important. And the important part is the rainfall. So without the required amount of rainfall, very difficult for the plants to grow, guys. So as they require some essential conditions from the ground, so when the ground is having the rainfall, minerals, all those things, then only they will get the required, the plant growth will be good enough. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for the plants to have its growth, guys. Okay, this is about that is plant diversity of India. Classification, insectivorous plants, invasive species, the medicinal plants, characteristics, trees, and the effects of abiotic components on plants. Okay, guys, with this I am closing my session, and you please thoroughly go through the current events, guys. So these are the basic parts. The questions may not come in these parts, guys. Okay, but the important aspect we need to consider is the current affairs. Okay, so in the trees, what are the current affairs that are required, and we need to consider all those things, guys. Okay, so the next topic for the discussion is the marine organisms, guys. Very important topic. Once again, in that we are going to see plankton, phytoplankton, zooplankton. Okay, all those things we are going to see in detail, guys. Okay, thank you one and all.